Okay, so hi everybody. So today we're going to go ahead and go over episode 5 of 5-minute math. Today we're dealing with the ceiling and the floor functions. Okay, this is a pretty simple process or idea, but not something that's not taught in math classes. So the ceiling function is basically just rounded up to the next integer. So say, for example, I had 4.2. What's the next integer that is bigger than 4.2? That'd be 5. And the floor function of, say, 4.2, you would round down to the next integer, so that would end up being 4. Okay, that's all it is. Pretty simple. Okay, so if y is less than 0, so it's a negative number, find the range of all possible values of y such that when you take the ceiling function of y times the floor function of y, it's equal to 110. Well, if you think about this, whatever y is, it doesn't matter what it is, the ceiling function is going to bring it up, and the floor function is going to bring it down. What that means is it means that those two numbers are going to be consecutive integers. So I'm just going to represent this as x is going to be whatever the ceiling function is. Actually, yeah, I'll do the ceiling function of y. And then therefore, the floor function of this would have to be 1 less than that. Okay, so what this does is it changes this equation into x times x minus 1 is equal to 110. X squared minus x minus 110 is equal to 0. So you have x minus factors of negative 110 that add up to negative 1 is negative 11 and 10. So plus 10 is equal to 0. So x is equal to 11 and x is equal to negative 10. Okay, so think about what that means for a minute. You have the ceiling function, which is either going to be equal to 11 or negative 10. Now, if you pay attention here, it has to be less than 0, which means I can disregard that. So now I'm just to here. So that means when I take some value and I go up, it's going to go to negative 10. And when I go down, it's going to end up going to negative 11 because negative 10 minus 1 gives you that. So I'm bouncing between negative 10 and negative 11. So I know that my y value has to be bigger than negative 11, but less than negative 10. Okay, and there we are. Okay, next one. How many numbers are in the range of this function? So range, what does that mean? Okay, so range means what values are you going to get out? Okay, so let's take a look at here, and I think hopefully we can agree that this 5 actually is insignificant, right? It doesn't really matter. It just go ahead and it just divides it all by 5, okay, whatever the value is going to be. Or at least for right now, okay, we'll deal with it in a second. If the x values are integers, then the top will always be 0. So in other words, 0 is one of my possibilities. Okay, now let's play around a little bit more. What about, like, say, for example, when it's 0.1? Okay, when it's 0.1, I'm only going to deal with the top. I'm not going to deal with the bottom for right now. I'm only going to deal with the top. So if I deal with 0.1, I would have the ceiling function of 5 times 0.1, which is 0.5, minus 5 times the floor function of 0.1. Well, the floor function of 0.1 is 0, so this should be 0.5 minus 0, which is going to be equal to 1, because you round it up. Okay, what about x is equal to 0.2? So if you did 0.2, you're going to take 5 times 0.2, which is 1, minus 5 times the floor function of 0.2. Well, the floor function of 0.2 is 0 once again. So this is still 0. So that's still going to be equal to 1. Okay, so once again, we're trying to establish a pattern here. Let's see what happens. Okay, x is equal to 0.3. So I have 5 times 0.3, which is 1.5, minus 0 again. Hopefully you can see that. And so then that's equal to 2. Okay, x is equal to 0.4. This is going to be 2 minus 0, which gives me 2. So it's just going to go ahead and continue that pattern. Now, when is it going to change? It's going to change when this is no longer 0. Okay, so the next 2 would be 3, and then 3, 4, and then 4. And then can we go higher than 5? So that'd be 0.5, 0.6, 0.7, 0.8, 0.9. Let's take x equal to 0.9. So when I do that, I'm going to have, this will still be 0. And I'm going to have 5 times 0.9, which is 4.5. So that does give me 5. Now, when I go x is equal to 1, right? Because that's just 1/10 up above here. Then I'm going to have 5 minus 5, which goes back down to 0 again. Okay? So 1, 1, 2, 2. So it starts at 0, 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, and then so on. Okay, what about x is equal to 1.1? Okay, if you did 1.1, then I'm going to have the ceiling function. 5 times 1.1 is 5.5 minus 5, because the floor function of 1.1 is 1. So 5.5 minus 5 is going to be 0.5, which rounds up to 1 again. Sorry. Okay, what about x is equal to 1.2? Well, that's going to be 1.2 times 5 is 6, minus 5 again, which is 1 again. And you can see the process is going to repeat. The next two are going to be 2 and 2 and 3 and 3, and then so on all the way up until 5. Okay, so how many numbers are in the range of the function? Well, I know I can get out 0. I know I can get out 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then I divide all those by 5. Well, that doesn't change anything. It's still going to be 5 or 6 different values. So my possibilities would be getting out 0 divided by 5, 1 divided by 5, 2 divided by 5, 3 divided by 5, 4 divided by 5, and 5 divided by 5 only. So I have 6 possibilities. Okay? So hopefully you guys understood a little bit of what is a ceiling and a floor function. Good luck with the challenge questions, and make sure to do your alchemist. Okay? Bye, everybody. Thanks. Take care.